In this video, we are going to be looking at simplifying fractions. So we're going to start off with the most basic style fractions to simplify, ones that we could do mentally and hopefully by looking at. So let's try one such as 3 over 6. Well, for 3 over 6, we want to know what divides both of these. What's the biggest number that divides both of these? I'm going to say both of these could be divided by 3, which is going to get me 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Let's try another one. Let's try 5 over 25. Well, I look at this, I know this could be divided by 5, and I know this could be divided by 5. That's going to get me 5 divided by 5 is 1. 25 divided by 5 is 5. Okay, so it's kind of like what we were doing with our ratios there, except we're looking at what's the biggest number that could divide both of these. So remember how we set up ratios? Now let's look at one more easier one. Let's try 8 over 10. So when I'm looking at this, I want to know what's the biggest number that divides both of these. Well, both of these could be divided by 2. Divided by 2. So I'm going to end up getting now 4 over 5 is the simplified ratio. Now, what happens if we get something a little bit more challenging? So let's try something like this. If I have 36 over 54. Now, when we look at this here, and this is a little bit more challenging, you might not see everything right away. One way I like to do it is to break it down into its prime factors. So let's look at 36 here. If you remember our prime factors from the unit before, we're going to first look at 36. 36 is 6 times 6. 6 times 6. 2 and 3. 2 and 3. So then 36 is equal to 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. So we're going to write 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Now let's look at 54. 54 is 9 times 6. 6 is 2 times 3. 9 is 3 times 3. Let's circle all the primes. We're going to write this all down underneath. So I have a 2 and 1, 2, 3 3's. Now, let's look at what's left over here. We have this 2 and this 2 divide each other. What's 2 divided by 2? That's going to be 1. What's 3 divided by 3? That's going to be 1. What's 3 divided by 3? That's going to be 1 as well. So we are left with 2 and a 3. So this gives me 2 over 3. Let's try another one like this. Let's try 42 all over 96. Okay? And we want to find simplify. So let's first look at 42. 42 is 6 times 7. 7 is prime. 6, let's break that down. That's 2 times 3. So 42 is 2 times 3 times 7. Now let's look at 96. 96 I know can be divided by 2. If I divide 96 by 2, that's going to give me 48. 2 is prime. 48 is 6 times 8. 6 is 2 times 3. 8 is 2 times 4. Circle the 2 because 2 is prime, and 4 is 2 times 2. So now let's write everything we have. So here, I'm going to go like this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's. So that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. We're done all these 2's, and we have a 3 times 3. So now let's see what cancels off here. I have a 2 and a 2 that could divide each other. I have a 3 divides by 3. Now I'm left with a 7 on top, and on the bottom I have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. I multiply these together. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So I'm going to end up getting 7 over 16. And this is our answer. So that is how we are going to be doing our simplification of fractions.